Kia ora, and welcome back to Civilization 6. Today, I wanted to take you through citizen management and how to sort of manage your cities and grow your empire, because there's a little bit of some sort of micro-management strategies, but also some wider strategies that you can utilize to make the most of your cities. So, I've just jumped into an old save file from many yonder ago that some of the OG subscribers may remember. And I'm just going to show you a little bit about citizen management here. So let's just go through it as if we know a little bit about Civ, but not too much. But also this should apply to more experienced players as well, because there's always little pieces that you can glean off these kind of videos that you didn't realize before. So as I click on my city, I'm going to click on Management Citizens down the bottom right here, this little icon, and that will take me into the city screen. Here you can see that above each tile, and if I head down to map options, I can click show grid just to make the tiles nice and clear. You can see how much each tile is producing. So this tile is producing 1 food and 1 production, whereas this one down here with horses is producing 2 food and 2 production. The desert tile is fairly useless and producing actually nothing at all. So there's a lot of discrepancy between tiles. The ones where the face is blue, like this, where it's lit up, that means my citizens are working the tile. Therefore, the ones that aren't lit up, my citizens aren't working, right? So you can see here, this city has a population size of 1. So the cities will always work themselves, and then for each additional population, starting from 1, you'll work a tile around the city. So this citizen, this 1 population, is choosing to work this tile. It's providing +2 food and +2 production. And in this case, we can see that the city has probably made the right move. There isn't another tile here that provides more yield, right? This one provides 4, all of the rest of them provide 3 or 2, in this case 0. However, if I was trying to go for a certain thing, let's say I was trying to make as much money as I could, I might want a citizen to work this tile instead, because this one is providing 1 gold, whereas at the moment, my tiles aren't providing any gold at all. To change citizens, and to change which tiles are being worked, you can just click the little citizen icon. So now this city will be producing an extra gold. You can see the city is producing 1 gold, but at an extreme cost. So if you look down here along the top of the city name, you can see how much of each yield the city is producing. At the moment, it's not producing a whole lot. If I click this horses tile again, watch this food number jump up by 2, the production jump up by 2, and the gold decrease by 1. Actually, the food will only increase by 1, of course, because this tile up the top has 1 food. So we're just increasing it by 1. Let's do it. Unlock that one, and whammo, we're back to doing this one again. And you can see our food's jumped up, our production's jumped up, but we're no longer producing gold. So that's how you might want to use citizen management within the city to micromanage your citizens. If you want to do it at a wider level, you can just click the little icons next to the resources. So if I click this one next to gold, sorry, not icon, the little empty circles, right? If I click that, now the city is focusing on gold. And you can see that it's actually just moved the citizen up to that tile that we'd manually selected previously. If I click it again, it will tell the city to ignore gold completely. Completely ignore tiles with gold. I'm not interested in gold. And that's what it's doing. Click it one more time to return it back to default. In the early game, you're probably either going to want to focus on food a lot if you want to grow your population faster, or production focus a lot if you want to produce the item that you're building. Now, there are some nuances when there are multiple cities or larger cities, right? So let's head over here to the capital of Lisbon and jump into the citizen management screen. And you can see here, things are a little bit more complicated. So for starters, I have some improved tiles, right? This luxury resource here, jade, has been improved. So this tile is producing some culture, which is more unusual. You can see some tiles are producing massive yields. This one here has a total of 8 resources coming off of it. A really great tile. This one here producing science. What you can also see is my districts. You can see my holy site and my campus. These work a little bit differently in that when you assign citizens to work these, which currently Lisbon isn't working, they will produce the resource that their district makes. Now, why is Lisbon not working them at the moment? Well, it's because Lisbon is currently in its growth phase. Its population is only 9. So when the game is automatically managing these citizens, it's choosing the best tiles possible to produce the most yield. So for example, of course, it's going to nab this tile, right? It's producing a variety of resources, and 6 of them. Likewise up here, a variety of resources and 8 of them. And crucially, these really high food or high production tiles are always going to be favored by the city as well, because it's producing a lot for a very little resource expenditure, right? It's 1 citizen, they're producing 5 yield. Watch what happens if I assign a citizen here to the holy site. Watch what happens down the bottom here to Lisbon's indicators. You can see if I unlock that citizen again, lock it, it's producing 2 faith, but at what cost? You can actually see this farm no longer being worked. Watch what happens to this farm. Boom. You can actually see the graphical overlay of that tile that was producing 2 food and 1 production to the city be scrapped in exchange for this tile, which is simply producing 2 faith. So your specialists that work in your special district will generally, or at least at this point in the game, they are producing but 2 science or 2 faith. You probably won't want to work these tiles particularly early on. As I say, you're going to want to focus on food and on production primarily. Even, for example, a tile like this that's producing 2 food and 3 gold. I might not even want to work that. And this is where it comes down to your individual situation and your individual game plan. But if you have a look in this game, I'm earning 307.3 gold per turn. So maybe in Lisbon, I don't actually really want to work this 3 gold tile, because at the end of the day, 3 gold means nothing to me, so all it's doing is providing 2 food. Can I see a tile that provides me more than just 2 food, if I consider that gold is not something I'm interested in at all? Yes, this one here provides an additional production. So my city can get the 2 food, so it won't change its growth at all, but I can get an additional production by working this tile and not working that tile. So that's just a little bit about what you might want to consider. The last thing that you can do, and you can see it up here, if you have cities that are bordering each other and you see a tile that you'd really like one of your cities to work, let's say Lisbon was struggling with food and I saw this 4 food tile, but it's within Porto's reach, I can click swap, and that will bring that tile within Lisbon's control, and now Lisbon's citizens can work it. Remembering that this only applies to tiles within the normal 3 tile radius of the city and not next to the city center. So you can see I can't take that one even though it's 3 tiles, but I can take these 2. That's the sort of the basics of citizen management in Civilization 6. There are other elements at play, including, which tiles you want to improve using your builders, which policy cards you have in can affect the yields of your tiles. But overall, if you understand the citizen management and indeed specialist management in these specialist areas, and how to use these relatively quick and easy ways to swap and focus your city's production on 1 or more resources while totally ignoring others, you can figure out ways to min-max your cities to get maximum production and growth, whether you're trying to grow a city or build more military units to whip out the war stick. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.